Hi, I'm John Burton, and this video will show you how to play my new game, Black Mamba. This is a unique Rummy-style game for two players designed for more strategic player interaction than most traditional Rummy games. All you need to play Black Mamba is a standard deck of cards and a way to keep score. A cribbage board works well because the score to win is 120 points. Before the game starts, players choose a color, either red or black, which determines who goes first in each round. To set up the game, remove all the jokers, jacks, and the two red kings. Shuffle the deck and deal 12 cards to each player in packs of 3 cards. Place the remaining cards face down in a stockpile. Turn the top card face up to start the discard pile. The color of the suit of the first discard card determines which player goes first in that round. If the discard card is a heart or a diamond, the player who chose red goes first. If the discard card is a spade or a club, the player who chose black goes first. In this example, the 3 of clubs indicates the player who chose black goes first. The object of the game is to score as many points as possible by creating melds. A meld is a group of 3 or 4 cards that are either all of the same rank or are in numerical order in the same suit. The ace is either 1 or 11, and the number cards are their own numerical value. The queens and kings are special cards that do not have a rank and are explained later. Each round consists of exactly 12 turns by each player. A turn consists of drawing a card, placing one single card face up in your meld area, and discarding one card from your hand. Players take alternating turns until their meld areas each have 12 cards and their hands are empty. Players can draw a card from one of 3 locations: the top of the stockpile, the top discard, or one of the opponent's cards in the meld area that is not grouped with other cards. Players pick a card, place it in their hand, and then move to the next meld step. Players must place exactly 1 card from their hand face up in their meld area on each turn. Players can place a card by itself, or they can make a group of between 2 and 4 cards that have the possibility of making a legal meld. In this example, the 6 of hearts is grouped with the 4 of hearts. Cards that are in a group cannot be drawn by the opponent on their turn. Players can rearrange and regroup their melded cards during the meld step. The goal of the game is to create melds of 3 or 4 cards for scoring at the end of the round. When finished with the meld, players discard 1 card to the discard pile, ending their turn. If the player started their turn by drawing one of their opponent's meld cards, then the players must finish their turn by discarding to their opponent's meld area. In this example, player 2 drew their opponent's 2 of diamonds, melded their own card, and then discarded to their opponent's meld area. After discarding, the player's turn is over and the next player draws to start their turn. There are 2 special card types in the game: wild queens and black mambas. Queens are wild cards that can substitute for any rank of card in the queen's suit. Queens can be played during a player's meld phase. When a queen is part of a group, it must be substituting for a card that can make a legal meld. For example, a queen of hearts can be added to a run of hearts, but the queen of hearts cannot be added to a run of clubs, nor can it be added to a group of identical ranked cards when a heart is already present in that group. Queens are allowed to substitute for a card that is already melded somewhere else, just not in the group it is already placed in. The king of spades and the king of clubs are the black mambas. These cards have no rank and they are not wild cards. Their sole purpose is to poison a meld to prevent it from scoring at the end of the round. If wild queens or black mambas are discarded, then they cannot be drawn from the discard on a subsequent turn. Once per turn, after drawing a card but before melding a card, players can make 1 card exchange in one of the following ways. They may take 1 card from their own meld area and replace it with 1 card from their hand, or they may exchange any queen that is in either player's meld area with a card from their hand that queen is meant to substitute, or a black mamba can be exchanged with any queen that is in any player's meld area. Only 1 exchange can be made per turn, and it must happen before a player melds a card. Skipping ahead to later in the game, player 1 has drawn a card from player 2's meld area, so they must discard to their opponent's meld area. When discarding like this, if the discard can be legally added to a group of 2 more cards, the card is turned sideways and placed on top of the group to lock that group. The cards of a locked group cannot be rearranged or added to for the rest of the round. A group can only be unlocked by swapping the card that locked that group with a queen of the same suit. Once unlocked, the cards can be freely rearranged or added to. After 12 turns, each player will have 12 cards in their meld area and no cards in their hands. At this point, the round ends and the melds are scored. 3-card melds are called trays, and they are worth 3 points each. 4-card melds are called quads, and they're worth 7 points each. A quad of 4 queens is worth 10 points. If all of a player's cards are legally melded into either 3 quads or 4 trays, an additional 10-point bonus is awarded. Any incomplete meld or melds with black mambas are worth 0 points. A special 50-point bonus is awarded if no cards in a player's meld area can score points. Players' round points are added to their cumulative total points in a specific order because the game immediately ends when a player reaches 120 points. At the end of a round, whichever player scored the most points in that round adds their points first to the cumulative total. If that player's score reaches 120 points or higher, they immediately win the game. If not, then the other player adds their score to their cumulative total. If that player scores 120 points or more, then they win the game. In the case of a tie, the player with the lowest cumulative score adds their points first. If neither player has 120 or more points, then another round is played. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to play Black Mamba. A PDF of the rules is included in the description. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below.